I want to go over a warm-up that I did in class. So freeze that and read both those, and then we'll go over them. Alright, so we're going to concentrate on the one on the left here to start with. It's a prism with a triangular base, which means the triangle here will be at one end, and then this other one's, the triangles always have to be the base ends because these other sides are not parallel to each other. So anytime you have anything other than a rectangular solid, the irregular shape is the one on both ends, has to be the base. So the top one here, so I've got altitude. I use altitude to determine how far it is from base to base. So then I can use h, or height, to stand for the triangle's height. So in this case, triangle has a height of 4 and a base of 6. So the area of that thing is 1/2 6 times 4. So that's the area of that little triangle. And then to figure out the surface area, well, I've got 3 surfaces here. I've got, or 3 lateral pieces here. I've got this side, which matches up to the 4.8 side. If this side is 4.8, when I unfold that, this has to be 4.8. This side is still 6, and this side is 4.6. So when I unfold that, it has to be 4.6. So that's where the 4.6, 6, and 4.8, they wrap around this triangle here. And basically the perimeter. So to figure out the lateral area, I can do 4.8 times 10 and 6 times 10 and 4.6 times 10. Or if I want to do it all in one shot, I can do 10 times the perimeter, which is 4.8 plus 6 plus 4.6. Okay, so that is 154. All right. Next part is, so that's the lateral area. So once again, lateral area, sides. No matter what shape you have on the bottom here, there are a bunch of sides that wrap around that thing that form one long rectangle. Okay, might be more than 3 sides, might be 4 sides, might be 5 sides, but I've got this one long piece of paper, if you want to think about it, that wraps around the top and the bottom. So I can always use this idea of perimeter that goes around this thing times the altitude to figure out the lateral area. So that's not the surface area, that's just the lateral area. That is all of these sides. Lateral means sides. So then I got to add the top and the bottom in. Well, we already know that our base area is 12, so our surface area is simply 154 plus 12 plus 12, or 178. Okay? So that's surface area. And at this point, volume is kind of trivial. Volume is 12 times 10. Our base area is 12. This thing is 10 high. So when I put this back together, it looks like a little building that's got a triangle on the bottom, triangle on the top, sides going straight up and down. That's 10. So 12 on the first floor, 12 on the second floor, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, all the way up 10 high. So the volume's 120 cubic units, or little tiny rooms that fit in my magnificent triangular building. Okay, the other one, I got a hexagon. It's got a hexagonal or hexagonal prism, or a prism with a hexagon base. I'm going to tell you the altitude, which is how tall it is. The distance between the bases is going to be 5. This net is a little bit different. If I wanted to, I could rearrange these and they would make one long strip of paper instead of 6 little strips of paper. Very often I might only give you the side length and I'd make you figure this out, and I've done that before, but in this case I'm just going to tell you this and tell you that, and you can of course figure out that the area of that little triangle, which I call a little triangle, is 1/2 times 4 times 3.4. So that's that little triangle, and then, so that's 6.8, and then I've got 6 of those little triangles to make up my hexagon. So that's where my 40.8 comes from. That's my base area, so it's 40.8 for this whole thing right here. And then for the lateral areas, there's 2 ways I can do it. I can, well, this is 4 by 5, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Or once again, I can think of this as a long strip of paper that wraps around this thing. Perimeter of this thing is 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. It's 24. So I can do 24 times 5 high, or I can do what I said before, 4 times 5, and there's 6 of them. So either way, 4 times 5 and there's 6 of them, or 24 is the perimeter times 5 high. Any way I do it, all these lateral faces add up to 120. And then so my surface area is the 120 plus the 40.8 plus the 40.8. Notice I'm really just doubling this number. I am not doubling the 120. Orders of operation, do that first. So my surface area is 201.6. And then finally, once again, once I've got the base area, volume is trivial. I've got 40.8 on the bottom floor. That's the area of my ground floor. This thing is stacked 4 high, 4 stories in the building. So when I do 40.8 times 5, it's 204 cubic units, or little tiny rooms in my beautiful hexagonal building. That's all.